Hey, this is John Young with PBNTV, Photo Booth News TV. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're going to be kind of announcing our next 10 weeks of training that we're going to be doing here on PBNTV. We're going to basically be outlining what you need to do to start a photo booth business. This is for the beginners. What you're going to need to do to start a photo booth business over the next 10 weeks in preparation to be ready for 2021. So if you are hemming and hawing, thinking about this is going to be something that's going to go through all the different little components. I'm going to have some experts with me each and every week talking about different aspects of it. So you guys will have the groundwork of what you need to do. If you've been in the photo booth industry for quite a while, there's going to be some things that might be of interest. There might be some things that are a little bit different information, especially during this COVID situation and how the world has changed from that. We're going to be tweaking a lot of that and presenting that over the next 10 weeks. So for today's show, I'm just going to get everything loaded up here. For today's show, what we're going to be doing is, just do this. I want to give you an idea of what these shows are going to be like and what topics we're going to be covering for the next 10 weeks. These shows will be available. We're going to be streaming them on Facebook and on YouTube, and then they'll be available so you can check them out. If you go to YouTube and search PBNTV or Facebook and PBNTV, you'll be able to find these videos on one of the channels or the other. So we're going to be talking again about starting your business and covering some of the basic and the groundworks for that. The first week, which would be next Wednesday night, these will be happening at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Eastern. Yes, I'm Central, so I always get that. 9 o'clock Eastern every Wednesday night. The first one, May 20th, we're going to be talking about the idea of doing some research to find out if your business will work in your market. What is going on out there? What are all the components that you need to be looking at? Where you need to be getting the information from, instead of just having it where you went to somebody's wedding last weekend and the photo booth sucked and now you decided that you should be a photo booth person. There's a lot more to it than just that. Successful businesses do the research, and we're going to kick the 10-week series off by showing you what is some of that research you need to be doing, where you should be getting that information, and how you could be getting yourself set up for success. So that will be May 20th. May 27th, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the different types of business models out there. The sole proprietorship, the S-Corp, the LLC, the C-Corp, whatever. There's a lot of different ownership structures out there, partnerships, what have you. We're going to go and dig into those this particular week and really discuss what's going to be possibly in the best interest of you as you go to start your business in 2021. Now, this is a topic that for some of us is going to be, this information will be different than what it was if we'd have done this show three months ago. Because with this COVID situation, there's some things that have changed in how businesses are set up. And we're going to talk about some of those advantages and slight disadvantages for each and every one of the different ownership models. We'll dig into that on the 27th. This show might get over a half an hour. This one might be pushing a little bit longer because there's a lot to cover, and we're going to have an expert coming in talking about or helping me with the show on that night. Again, this will be here at the end of May on the 27th. Getting into June, once we've got figured out our business entity and that side of it, now we need to kind of think about the legal stuff. All the legal paperwork that needs to be filed, what has to be filed in order for you to be a legitimate business and to be a business that can be looking to talk to a bank at some point in time in the future, which a lot of us have been having to do that with this COVID situation. We're going to help you get all that stuff done and know what you need to do so you can be ready to be successful in your business. Now, this is a night that some of you who have an existing business, and we might be hitting some things in these shows that are going to be like, oh, hey, I don't have that. I need to do that. Or going back to our May event here, you might be one type of business structure and it might be time to convert to a different one. So we'll cover those things on our shows. But again, on the 3rd, we're going to be talking about getting the legal stuff done. Then we're going to talk about laying out a business plan. And I've done some business plan things. We've done these before. We're going to dig into it now from a little bit different perspective, not only the business plan, but how those business plans need to be tweaked and such after this COVID situation, in case we have another situation like this show up in a few years, and we need to be talking to bankers, talking to government, the SBA, the unemployment, all these different things, and how your business plan will fit into that and get you ready to be successful. So we're going to dig into that on June 10th. Then the following week, we're going to talk about financing. Where can you get financing for your business? How can you keep this business afloat as you're starting up and getting into that process? We'll be talking about that and how to keep track of your finances and digging in on the 17th of June, again, Wednesday night at 9 p.m. A lot of stuff we'll be covering in this show also. So hopefully you can join us that night. Jumping to close to the end of June, we'll be talking about what services you're going to offer. A lot of people have been creating a lot of really unique services during this COVID time, and we're going to look at some of the traditional ones and a few non-traditional ones of things you could be offering with your photo booth business. And not everything's going to be photo booth related. We'll be talking about that on the 24th, so you can get an idea of what kind of things are out there to offer. And then we're going to talk about how to price that just a little bit so you can be going out there and getting a professional fee for your services rather than losing money every time you go out the door. July 1st, we're going to talk about the office situation. Should you have an office? Should you have a storefront? Should you have this? Should you have that? Where should you locate your business? And we're going to talk about this also from a standpoint of the tax side of things. Is it smart to do this instead of that or that instead of this? We're going to dig into that on July 1st here. So by the end of the show, hopefully you have a really good idea of where the best place to locate your business will be. July 8th, we're going to come back and talk about the different people who would be on your team. That would be the different services you will need, the people in positions you will need. Understanding a little bit of part will be the understanding your skills and ability. You might be really good at one thing and not so good at another. So your team might be different than my team, might be different than someone else's team. But we're going to go through and kind of help you get an understanding of who you're going to need to surround yourself with to be successful. And talking about your team on July 8th. Then on July 15th, this is going to be a big show. We're going to talk about marketing, promotion, and getting your brand out there. And I'm going to have probably a couple of different guests on this one. My goal for this one is actually to do a 3-night that particular week it would be the July 13th. If I can arrange it, I want to go with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that week. One night talking about promotions and marketing and branding, and then promoting. Yeah, that's tougher to say than I thought it would. For the whole week. So that could be a big week. So you kind of circle that one on your calendar if those are any of those topics of interest, because when we get closer and I can get the people, because I want to get some people who are doing it at a high level, and they're going to come in and talk to us on the week of the 13th. But we might do just a big one on the 15th, and we'll keep you up to speed on that. Then on our final one, I believe this is it, July 22nd, our 10 weeks of training is going to wrap up, talking about where we can get gear, where we can find the vendors to supply us with product and training, because these are things we're going to need as we're starting our business, as we're growing our business, as we're running our business, and as we want to expanding and improve and become, take it up a few notches. These are all topics we're going to be digging into on the 22nd, and there'll be some of you out there who have some ideas and some different sources that I may not be aware of. So we're going to kind of do a group thing with a chat room and talking to a couple of experienced operators about where we can find and what they would recommend for the gear and the vendors, servicing vendors out there, and of course where they can train and become better at their craft. So that's going to be just a quick overview. I didn't want to go too terribly long with tonight's spot. This is something I want you guys to be, if you're an experienced operator and you're going to look at this and say, oh, I know that, don't bother. It's not for you. And that's okay, because this is kind of the 101. This is the getting started stuff. While there will be some information that might be like, oh, I learned something tonight. It's really going to be geared for those who are getting started so they can get started in the photo booth industry and get started correctly in running a legitimate business. So hopefully that will work for you and you guys will be able to learn a few things. And again, if not, hey, that's okay. We got a lot of great programming we'll be adding throughout the summer that might be able to fit you just a little bit better. This is John Young with PBNTV. Next week, we'll be back next Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. I look forward to see you then. Bye, everyone.